Hey beautiful people, welcome to the Cancer July 2020 Tarotscope. Hey beautiful people, it's your girl Shakima, just stopping into the building, finishing up my July duties for you guys. I'm actually stopping in for the Cancer reading for the month of July to give you guys a Tarotscope for this month. Disclaimer, these are going to be general readings, so they're not going to resonate with everyone. If it doesn't resonate, do just let it dissipate, okay? But if it does resonate, then definitely be sure to comment down below and let me know how you've been able to effectively utilize the info for the guidance throughout this month, because you do have another Cancer new moon that's coming on the 20th of July, so this is another opportunity for an activation for your tribe. So it should be an interesting month for you guys. What I will say, if you guys are watching this via my YouTube channel, give me a thumbs up, let me know how you're liking the content. IG lovers, give me a heart, let me know how you guys are feeling about the info. And if you guys are watching via my YouTube channel, if you like my vibe and you want to be a part of the tribe, subscribe, okay? Another aspect of a disclaimer that I need to let you guys know, I don't utilize my skill for fortune telling. I literally utilize the space to be able to advise on what I see coming in terms of what spirit is trying to direct for your evolution process. So if you are looking for some fortune telling, unfortunately you're in the wrong place. I don't discriminate. I think, you know, each to their own, but for myself, I'm going to be utilizing this space to be able to see what's coming for my Cancer babies for this July month, because it's going to be intense. So we're going to utilize the tarot to see where you are for the Cancer tribe, what path you're crossing, what's going on in the subconscious mind, so what your spirit is actually saying in terms of the transition of this chapter that is July, and what's going on in your conscious mind, so how your ego or how your human avatar is kind of perceiving the experience that you're having throughout this month. And then we're going to sort of have a look and see the outcome for the energies of July. And I'm even going to go deeper into it by giving you guys a week-to-week trajectory scope to sort of dive deeper into it and see what the energies are going to be like for you week by week. And then we'll be able to close out the space with a romance guidance. And we'll be looking at romance guidance for my single Cancer babies, my taken Cancer lovers, and those who are in complicated situationships. Why? Because I mean, I don't judge and we all need love, okay? So that being said, guys, let's go ahead and get straight into it and see what's actually transpiring for you guys for this month. So as clearly as you can, please, Spirit, what do you see going on for my Cancer babies for the month of July? As clearly as you can. It's Cancer season, guys. So for a lot of you guys coming into the month of July, it seems as though you've actually been doing a lot of work. You've been educating yourself a lot. You've been focusing on your quality of life and how that's going to be impacting your career and how it's going to be impacting your ability to stabilize within your career. So you've been doing a lot of grounding work. I want to say on a spiritual level, you've been doing a lot of grounding work, because it seems as though you've been sort of identifying what are some of the distractions that has been taking you away from your career situation, and you're optimistic about the transition that you're going through, but nonetheless you realize that there has been certain distractions that has been moving you away from the course of your true calling, let's call it that. And I can see that as you're navigating through the energies of this month, by the looks of it, you're learning how to balance things out a little bit more. You're actually sort of you're in the energy of the Temperance, so you're at that place where you're kind of really living patiently in purpose. What do I mean by that? You're kind of taking things in its stride. You're not taking on too much. You're kind of navigating through the process where you are not being too greedy. You're learning how to just balance giving and receiving in a way where you can be a little bit more efficient with the process of it, so that you can keep your emotions in check. And what I see for you kind of like moving forward from the energies of this month, you'll actually be able to get to a place where you've got that Ace of Cups energy. So it's all about love for you guys. It's all about unconditional love. It's all about creative expressions of self through overwhelming downloads and insights. So throughout this month, you may be sort of getting a lot of downloads that is going to help you to be able to create expressively, because like I said, you've got a new moon coming on the 20th of July that is going to supercharge your tribe. So let's go and have a look and see what's actually unfolding for you guys. Where are my Cancer babies for the month of July, Spirit? As clearly as you can, please. Where are my Cancer babies for the month of July? Let's see, guys. Okay. I'm hearing that you guys are at a place where there's a lot going on for you guys, but it seems like the energy is scattered. There may be some confusion, some indecision. So let's have a little look. It seems like Yeah. For my Cancer babies, it seems like for the month of July, you're going into a state of withdrawal. You're kind of withdrawing from the world because you realize that there was an imbalance in your work and personal life. You realize that you were at a place where you were either overworking yourself or you were giving too much to your romantic relationship, and you're kind of withdrawing from all of that at the minute because it kind of got you to a place where you felt burnt out. It got you to a place where you felt like you were just weak. It got you to a place where you felt like you were completely overwhelmed. And it got you to a place where, as you navigate through the energies of this month, you felt like you just weren't being disciplined. Okay. What I can see is that you are going to be trying to balance the scales of that. Or maybe for some of you guys as well, you may have found yourself going through a process where you had withdrawn because you already felt the energy of being imbalanced in your work and personal life, and you felt like there wasn't much discipline in terms of taking time for yourself. You felt like this is now an opportunity for you to be a little bit more loyal to what you need, to what your desires are. So it's going to be an interesting journey for you guys this month. What path are my Cancer babies crossing for the month of July, Spirit? Okay, guys, so the month of July for you guys is recovery, guys. The month of July is you guys being able to recover. You're not sort of giving too much in situations, from what I can see. And it's interesting because you kind of done a lot of the grounding work from, I want to say from May leading up till now. You've been doing a lot of the grounding work where that time that you may have taken to withdraw was necessary for you to get to this place because you feel like that was distracting you, like I said, from your true calling, from your true nature and purpose. So now you're going through a process of recovering from a lot of old wounds that you've been sort of trying to navigate through. And it seems like you're at that place where you're going through a rejuvenation, right? And that rejuvenation is coming because there's a fear of ruin. You're scared that you're going to be burning yourself out, and you don't want to do that anymore. It's not a bad thing. I think it's just you're now learning how to be able to give, like I said, and receive as well. It's not just about you putting your energy out there and being vultured basically to the point where you're getting emotionally abused and misused. Let's have a look and see what's going on in the subconscious mind for my Cancer babies for the month of July, Spirit. Because they seem to be going through recovery, but it's almost like parts of them feels guilty for wanting that recovery. Okay, so right, in the subconscious mind, you guys are dealing with insecurities. Okay, in the subconscious mind, you guys are dealing with codependent relationships. And I literally just said to you guys that it feels like the energy overall, some of you guys may be feeling guilty for taking this time to recover, taking this time to rejuvenate and get an opportunity to kind of refuge, you know, take yourself back and rest and regenerate your energy. It seems like in the subconscious mind, in your spirit, you're kind of going through dissatisfaction. You're going through dissatisfaction within your relationships with others. You're going through dissatisfaction within your dependence. So again, because we have the Cancer new moon sort of taking place in your first house, this may have something to do with your maternal relationships, and that may be the main thing that you're kind of focusing on. Or you may even be thinking about the dependents that are in your home situation that may not necessarily be allowing for this recovery to take place as organically as you would like, because you've done so much for others, right? Why don't you deserve it? Why shouldn't you accept it? Why shouldn't you receive it? And it's almost like other people are kind of making you, I'm not going to say making you feel guilty, but you feel like your engagement with other people is leading you to a point where you're feeling guilty for this opportunity for you to rest. Okay, what's going on in the conscious mind for my Cancer baby, Spirit, for the month of July? What do you see going on for them in the month of July consciously? Yeah. So from what I can see, some of you guys are withdrawing. Yeah, and I said that already. There seems to be some sort of withdrawal that's taking place. So consciously, as you navigate throughout the month of July, you're kind of going through this process of withdrawing. You're kind of protecting yourself. It feels like you had been protecting yourself, and as you're sort of navigating through the energies of this month, you're at that place where you kind of feel some sense of loss because you've withdrawn. You kind of feel some sense of maybe your relationships have changed. You kind of feel like maybe your engagement with other people have changed. You kind of feel like maybe some of the relationships that you were having before isn't what it was before you actually removed yourself from the situation, and now you're kind of going back into it and you're looking at it from an entirely new perspective. And it's interesting because there's times where you will kind of feel a little bit lonely. For sure, girl. You will feel a little bit lonely in terms of, you know, this withdrawal that you did before, where you sort of took yourself back from the world to be able to retreat and recover. but Spirit's saying that it was necessary. You know, it was necessary for you to focus on these codependent relationships and get to a place where you could be emotionally secure within yourself. So try not to judge yourself for what you're sort of navigating through right now. It's a necessary part of your recovery. And I think it's kind of like giving you an opportunity to get back to a place where you're disciplined with yourself as well, where you're disciplined with what you need as well. And it's not just so much about giving to others. It's also about being able to ask for what you need and being open to receive it as well. What is the outcome for my Cancer babies for the month of July, Spirit? Because it seems like they're going through a lot. It seems like a very emotional month for you guys. I'm not going to lie. But again, can't lie. You've got the Cancer new moon that is happening in your first house. So the way that you project out there into the world is going to be going through a transformation during this month. Why do I say that? Because you're going to be dealing with a lot of the home situations, a lot of the maternal wounds that may cause you to withdraw from people. Those are some of the things that are really going to be instrumental in this month as you navigate through July. And what I want to say as well for you guys, the first moon that we're having in July, so we've got on Sunday, we've got the Capricorn full moon lunar eclipse, and that's actually sort of taking place from what I can see in your 6th house. So there's a lot of karmic debts that you're kind of overcoming. There's a lot of karmic 7th house, sorry. There's a lot of karmic debts that you've had to overcome, and now you're going through a process of identifying how you can make changes within your business partnerships, your friendships, and your romantic relationships. So these areas of your life are going to be going through a transition as you navigate through the month of July. Your friendships are going to change. You may find that there are certain waves that is going to be taking certain people out of your life. It may be temporary. It may be that the season has passed, and it may be that some of these relationships won't necessarily rekindle, but again, it served its purpose. The great thing about it is that you know, this time for you will be able to get you back to a place where you can focus on your purpose. It will get you back to a place where you can focus on your business ideas, your business prospects. It does seem like a pretty lonely month for you guys, at least spiritually. It feels like you're going through a lonely transition throughout the month of July, but you're going through a transformation, you're going through a change. What I would say for my Cancer babies, because this seems like it's a big transition for you guys, where your ascendant is actually going to be learning how to balance itself with your sun sign. So maybe have a look and see what your ascendant is, and check out the reading for your ascendant sign as well, your rising sign, because it seems like you're learning how to balance the way that you project yourself out into the world versus who you truly are. Okay, and the wounds that has basically affected you, being able to be your authentic self. What is the outcome for my Cancer babies for the month of July, Spirit? As clearly as you can, please. What is the outcome for my Cancer babies for the month of July? Because it seems like they're going through a lot. My heart goes out to you guys, by the way. I can feel a lot of emotions beneath the surface of this. So you guys are at the place where you're learning how to manifest new opportunities for yourself. You're learning about what it is that you want to manifest and how you want to manifest. And it's a fresh, you're at a fresh stage of it. You're at a fresh stage of really identifying what it is, because it's completely new to you. But you're going through different changes within your home situation. You're going through a transformation within your home situation. I already addressed that because of the Cancer new moon. I don't know how many times I'm going to keep saying that, but they're really identifying like what's causing this wave that you're navigating through, like this current that you're trying to sort of you know, this tide that's coming in. You're trying to navigate your way through the current of this Cancer new moon that's taking place, but it's really giving you an opportunity to manifest new financial prospects into your reality by the looks of it. It does seem like there may be some partnerships that may be sort of coming in, or there may be some swift changes within your partnerships in terms of decisions that you have to make, particularly to do with your home situations or how it may impact your home situation. So keep the faith and stay positive about it, because from what I can see, all of this that's going on is really teaching you, again, just how to be a little bit more dependent on yourself, so that you're not necessarily emotionally dependent on others, so that you don't necessarily take it too personal when other people aren't able to meet your expectations. Okay, it seems like you guys are kind of going through a similar journey as the Gemini tribe for this month. So the greatest thing about it is that you guys are actually going through a recovery, so it's not as bad as it may seem. What I can see, I'm just going to go into the week-to-week scope of what's sort of taking place for you guys in the month of July. What I can see for my Cancer babies is that you guys are basically sort of realizing that you've taken on too much in the past, right? And it kind of brought you to a place where you started to avoid certain responsibilities. You started to, like I said, withdraw from certain engagements with others. And it seems like as you're navigating through this month, you'll actually be focusing on what it's going to take for you to be able to restore some of your relationships, and if you even want to restore certain relationships. And it's really one of those things where Spirit's actually going to be bringing opportunities to you. The best way that I can put it is that you'll actually be able to start receiving wealth. You'll be able to start to see your worth spiritually, emotionally, physically. You'll actually start to see what you're bringing to the table as well by navigating through these insecurities. But first you kind of need to go to isolation. It's kind of like like how the world has been going through a lockdown situation. Spirit's just asking us to sort of remove ourselves from those that we are used to being dependent on, so that we can learn how to be a little bit more dependent on our divine source connection within ourselves. Let's have a look and see what is the first week of July looking like for my Cancer babies. Okay, so for the first week, you guys are dealing with negative karma. Okay, so it's going to feel a lot like bad luck. It's going to feel a lot like things aren't necessarily going in the direction that you would like it to go, because there's external factors that are outside of your control that you're having to learn how to navigate through. And it seems like you've got the Four of Swords energy at the bottom of the deck, so it's kind of like you're cutting through the BS. You're cutting through the BS, and you're trying to get to a place where you can get more, how can I put it, you're trying to get to a place where you can actually sort of see more of yourself in the way that you're having your experiences with people, because it seems like you're realizing that you may have been unrealistic or maybe slightly naive in certain situations, and you're sort of taking an opportunity to hold back and really focus on what it is that you need to do, because there are some personal frustrations that you're navigating through, which is probably why this insecurity has been triggered. But it seems like you're going through a major arcana for this month, guys. It seems like the first week is definitely a major arcana for you guys, and even with the original sort of spread for you, I could see that you had the strength card, but it was in reverse. So it's almost like you were looking at your strengths like there were weaknesses. It's almost like you're looking at your ability to be emotionally vulnerable as a weakness, because of how other people may be making you feel about yourself throughout the month of July. It's not a weakness, beloved. You're actually just going through the process of being strengthened in your ability to be an emotional being. Okay. It's more like a power up, if you will. And sometimes if you think about it, it's like when Superman has to really dig deep to find his strength whenever he's in a room where there's kryptonite. You're kind of having your kryptonite moment that is actually going to make you stronger. That seems to be the first week of July where you'll be navigating through the bulk of that, probably because of this Capricorn full moon lunar eclipse that we've got on the 5th of July on Sunday, because it seems like that's really going to be impacting your business partnerships, your friendships, and your romantic relationships. Okay, what is the second week? Okay, so the second week, guys, damn. Right, that I'm only saying damn, don't get concerned, guys. I'm only saying damn because that just flew out so quickly. So clearly there's like a lot going on for you guys in the undertone of what you guys are trying to navigate through for this month. So let's have a little look and see. For the second week for you guys, what I can see is that you guys are actually, you've been carrying a lot of baggage. A lot of that baggage is, whether or not you should conform to other people's perspective, whether or not you should basically conform to what the world is saying that you need to be. You need to view yourself as you're basically going to be how can I put it? You're going to be reevaluating your identity throughout the second week. You're going to be reevaluating, are you what people say that you are? Because you're going through this transition in your friendships. Your friendships, I'm feeling like, is going to be like the big ringer for you in the first 2 weeks of July. But it seems like you're actually going through a transition where you're carrying a lot of baggage, or you feel like you're carrying a lot of baggage, or you're not able to move on from how the world sees you, and you just want to be yourself, and why can't people just let you be yourself, and all of these things. These are some of the thoughts that I'm hearing. Why can't they just accept you as you are? Do you accept you as you are, beloved? Do you love you as you are? Do you love you as the emotional being that you are? Because what I am seeing is that as you're navigating through the energies of this month, you'll be sort of having a lot of creative blockages, because of your ability to be dependent on others. It's almost like you rely on other people to be able to sustain your happiness, and Spirit is taking you away from that. Spirit saying you don't need anyone but yourself to make you happy. You don't need anyone but yourself to make you feel good about yourself. You have to really work on your self-esteem, because it's the esteem of self, right? And what I'm seeing is that Spirit's going to give you an opportunity to really be able to persevere, and you will be able to kind of profit from this opportunity that you're navigating through. But first, you kind of, again, we've got the Strength card for you in reverse. This weakness that you're looking at as a weakness, you'll be able to see that it's a strength once you're able to navigate through the first couple of weeks of July. Okay, what is the third week of July looking like for my Cancer babies, Spirit? As clearly as you can, please. Okay, so the third week of July, guys, beautiful. And I did say, you know, the first 2 weeks will be tricky, but the third week seems like you're balancing things again. It seems like you're at that place where you are, you know, finding your happiness. You're kind of finding your sense of self. You're finding your identity all over again. It seems like for a lot of you guys, you may have been going through a lot of manipulation. It may have been emotional manipulation from others. It may have been psychological manipulation from others. It may even be you sort of having a psychological or emotional warfare with yourself. But it seems like you'll be able to navigate your way through that by the third week. Things will start to move in your favor by the third week. The first week, just going back to that, what I'm seeing is that the first week, you're actually learning how to release your fear. You're learning how to release your confusion and your tendency to be unhappy if you're not necessarily engaging in relationships with others. So I think that the first 2 weeks is really bringing you to this third week where you're able to see that, you know, you're all that you need and you are good enough, and, you know, nobody else needs to see your light. If you can't see it, then they won't necessarily be able to experience it anyways. And I think that you'll be able to sort of come to some sort of realization by the third week of July, where you can really start to see why it was necessary for you to sort of go through everything that you had gone through the first 2 weeks beforehand. And also, obviously, the third week is where we've got the Cancer new moon. So this is where you're getting your charge up, guys. This is where you're getting your activation and things are starting to move in your favor. Okay, it's like a turning point in your addressing your fears. What is the fourth week of the Cancer? What is the fourth week of July looking like for my Cancer babies? Okay, so the fourth week, you're actually back into a place where you're not necessarily utilizing your energies in the best way. You're actually sort of shrinking yourself again to make other people feel comfortable. And it seems like your energy may be a little bit off by the fourth week again. What I'm seeing with that is that, how can I put it? What I'm seeing with it is that you're kind of learning how to listen to your intuition, and because you're learning how to listen to your intuition, you may come across a little bit aggressive. You may come across a little bit demanding. So instead of you needing to basically feel like you're being oppressed by others and feeling like you need to react, maybe take a minute to just observe the situation and consciously choose how you want to respond. Because what I'm seeing is that you may sort of show up to other people as being demanding, but it's not that. It's that you're kind of like asking for what you need, and they're having to now finally be able to balance the scales of the karma that you've been giving, where you are constantly giving and giving and giving and pouring into others, and now it's time for you to receive, because that is the natural laws of karma, right? You've put so much energy out there, and now Spirit's kind of giving you an opportunity to receive some of that back. Okay? So you kind of just need to be able to express to people that you've earned your right to basically be where you are in terms of the position that you're in, especially to do with your home dynamics. Yeah. Let's have a little look and see what's going on for you guys overall in terms of the energies with the romantic side of things. Right, what do you see for my single Cancer babies for the month of July, Spirit? Okay, so for my single Cancer babies, you guys have chemistry, okay? There's a chemistry that is sort of taking place. You're actually sort of going through a soulmate connection. I'm going to say this. For some of you guys, you're actually going through a process of rekindling your chemistry with yourself, first and foremost. For others of you guys, you may sort of be rekindling the flame with somebody that has... You guys naturally have a lot of chemistry. There's a natural attraction that's there. And it seems like this is like a new love situation that's sort of happening or taking place. So there may be somebody new that's going to be coming into your life for some of you that are single and ready for that phase of the journey. What I will say is bear in mind, we are sort of in the Mercury retrograde energies, and Mercury sort of Mercury went retrograde on the 18th of June, and it's going to be retrograde for about 21 days following that. So there's about 3 weeks from the 18th of June for the Mercury retrograde, and we've got the post shadow period for a further 2 weeks. So you kind of want to just choose wisely when you're sort of engaging in this engagement with this new person that's coming in. It may be a true love, and when I say true love, I mean an honest love where you are vulnerable and you are expressing yourself vulnerably, and this person is getting to see you in your authentic self, which is a great place to be for those of you guys that are ready to embark on a romantic venture at this time. For those of you guys who still feel like you want to be able to just focus a little bit more on yourself, because again, I sort of mentioned that there are, you know, some loneliness or some isolation that's kind of taking place. You're kind of really at that place where you're just focusing on yourself. There's a strong magnetic attraction that you're starting to get for yourself. You're starting to see what you're able to bring to the table in romantic partnerships. Okay, what do you see for my taken Cancer babies for the month of July, Spirit? What do you see going on for? Okay. For those of you guys who are in relationships, there are masks. And it's interesting because that card just fell, so I'm going to go and grab that for you guys. Okay, so for those of you guys are sort of getting a new love. Some of you guys are taking off the mask. You guys are taking off the mask. Some people, and I said this already, like, you know, you guys are learning how to be able to balance the scales between your authentic self versus the way that you project yourself out there into the world, because the sun is currently in your sign at the minute as we're navigating through the energies of July until around about the third week of July. So what I'd say is just you guys are learning to unmask yourselves, and it's going to bring a new love to your relationship. Your relationship is actually going to be going through a new transition, because you guys are sort of letting your friends kind of help you to release a lot of your inner child baggage that is causing a lot of disruptions with your romantic partnerships. And Spirit saying that there wasn't enough attraction or chemistry to keep the relationship going in the way that you were doing things before, so now you're just having to take an opportunity to start again from scratch, and see the positives in the situation. Okay, what is the advice, Spirit, for my Cancer babies that are in situationships? Okay, so for you guys, Spirit is saying that there are definitely romantic feelings there, but at the minute you have to factor in the fact that there are issues in the relationship due to finances and career. So some of you guys may be going through a situation right now with your significant situationship other, where you guys are really addressing some of the financial concerns, and that's one of the things that I sort of mentioned to you guys as well. You're kind of protecting yourself because you're trying to figure out how to best fulfill purpose. And for those of you guys that are in situationships, I can see that, you know, your focus is mainly trying to overcome your financial losses. And it's going to be quite the tricky month for you guys, I guess, but what I'd say is listen to your intuition. Okay, listen to your intuition as you're navigating through the month of July, because this is a time where you'll basically be able to go, how can I put it? You'll be able to see agendas within yourself that has been hidden within your subconscious mind. You'll also be able to see the hidden agendas of others. And as you navigate through the process of this will allow for you to navigate through the process utilizing your discernment with your Christ consciousness spirit within. Okay, so just know that whatever's going on in your situationship, finances and career is like a major factor that is impacting the distance that you guys may feel in terms of the disconnect that is taking place right now as you navigate through the energies of July. What I'm going to say in that case, they're actually sort of saying that whatever you're going through, for those of you guys that are in your situationship, they're saying that things will be able to be restored. It will kind of get back into a place where it's not completely balanced, but it will be able to start to get restored by November in terms of your situationship, for those of you guys that are dealing with that kind of dynamic. So just be patient with the process and know that you guys are kind of like grounding. You guys are doing the groundwork to be able to get to a more stable situation within yourselves, so that the relationship can feel a little bit less pressurizing. I hope that makes sense for you guys. But that's basically everything from me, guys. I'm gonna love you guys and leave it there for you guys. If you guys have found the information useful, then be sure to give me a heart and let me know how you've been able to effectively utilize the info. If you guys are watching this via my YouTube channel, definitely be sure to give me a thumbs up. If you like my vibe and you want to be a part of the tribe, subscribe. I'd love to have you, so that we can just chop it up and dive deep into these realms of experiences that is taking place for the evolution of mass consciousness. That being said, I am going to love you guys and leave it there for you guys. As per usual, guys, I'm sending you guys nothing but love, light, and positive intentions for the journey ahead. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Until then. Namaste, guys. Mwah. God bless. That's all, folks. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe and hit the bell for more.